everybody, welcome back to a quick tasting with me. I'm Fred Minnick. I taste bourbon for a living, and I'm excited to taste this series here we have from Penelope Bourbon, a non-distiller producer that is bottling in Bardstown, but the whiskey is coming from Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So a little bit about this category is that people, what they do is they acquire stocks from another distillery and they bottle it somewhere, and thus we call them non-distiller producers. That term was actually coined by the great, one of my mentors, Chuck Cowdery, Bourbon Hall of Famer, incredible, iconic author, and just an overall legend of a man. And so people like Penelope Bourbon have found their own ways to make their flavors unique. And so you got to ask yourself, like, well, you know, how can they be unique? How can they be different if other people are going and acquiring stocks from the same exact distillery and then bottling them and doing their own separate thing? Well, the fact is they did things like, you know, they created, you know, they have a 4-grain one here in which they use corn, rye, wheat, and malted barley. They're non-filtered. The non-filtered basically means that if you see this in the store, and you know, it could have little waves going through it. So like right here, there are little waves going through it. I don't know if you can see. There are little waves that, you know, that's called flocking. And chill filtration basically prevents, you know, that from happening. And it keeps, it makes it look, when it's non-chill filtered, it looks, you know, cloudy. And so what chill filtration does is it actually prevents that from happening, but it also strips out a great deal of flavor. Now, I wrote a story about chill filtration for Whiskey Advocate a few years ago. I will put that in the comments section so you can have access to learn more about chill filtration. But these are non-chill filtered, something that I'm always happy to see. So we're going to start here first with Penelope's 4-grain straight bourbon whiskey. Now, here's the funny thing. This is 80 proof. And I think to myself, it's very unique to see someone go through all the efforts of being non-chill filtered and then cut it down to 80 proof. Typically, the whiskey fan community, the whiskey geeks, want to see higher proofs with their non-chill filtered. Why that is because the higher you go up in proof, often more of the flavor that can be there, and you can alter the flavor how you want by adding water or adding ice. So typically you don't see a lot of 80 proof non-chill filtered products. And so this is a 4-grain, it's 2 years old. Let's see what it's all about. 80 proof. It's got a really nice nose. It's very corn forward, a little bit of like honey, and just a hint of grapefruit. I really like this. This is something that's fruity. There's some citrus there. It expresses the citrus first as grapefruit. Then I get some like orange. Then a touch of lemon zest. This is really nice. You know, for an 80 proof product, it tastes far above its proof suggests, and that could be because of that chill filtration, that non-chill filtered. So I got to commend Penelope here for this bottling, because it's quite good. It's quite good, and I don't say that a lot about 80 proof bourbons. So, and again, these are non-distiller producers, so they don't always have the control over the quality or like the barrels they get. But Penelope is kind of known for doing a good job of keeping a consistent, you know, product in circulation, you know, through their own methods. Now, these products were given to me by the distillery at no cost to me, but that sort of thing never weighs into my opinion of a whiskey. Just ask many of those that have given me whiskey and then I said it smelled like something like drywall or burnt plastic or something. So here we go to the batch 4 non-chill filtered cask strength I think we have a bit of an issue here in terms of how it's labeled. It says Penelope Bourbon barrel strength provides our blah 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 blah. Our 4-grain straight bourbon is blended from 3 bourbon mash bills that are aged more than 24 months in American New Charred Oak. Okay, so that leaves a lot open for age, and if it's under 4 years old, which that language suggests to me that it probably is, they should have an age on here of what the age is. So that's just a bit of a label discrepancy, you know, very small in the eyes of people outside of me and another guy named Wade Woodard. But the fact is, you know, they put it out there. They did say it was aged, you know, more than, but they didn't give anything after 24 months. So maybe the federal government looks at that label and says, you know what, 24 months is all you need. You know, I mean, I don't know. But I do think that, you know, it says more than 24 months. Well, I would like to know how exactly old it is if it is not 4 years old. So if the minimum barrel in here is not 4 years old, I feel like I have a right to know what the age is in here. So we're just going to assume that it's between 2 and 4 years old. It's cask strength, and this is their batch number 4, 4-grain. Another thing is they say it's a blend, and this is before, like, you know, looking into their federal records of how they did the labeling. But it says it's a blend of 3 bourbon mash bills, but it doesn't say where those 3 mash bills are coming from. It does say on the bottle that it's distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So I am making another assumption that all 3 of those whiskeys, all 3 of those mash bills were distilled at the Lawrenceburg, Indiana distillery. I don't think that's much of a leap of an assumption, but, you know, again, it's just a little nitpicky thing on the label. Honey, fruit, brown sugar. Wow. That is friggin' excellent. It's kind of like a chocolate chip cookie dough. There's a lot of doughy components to me. There's like some cake batter, like a vanilla cake batter. That is really good. A lot of honey. A lot of like a pecan pie. And then lastly, a cadre of pepper spices. So I'm talking like black pepper, just a touch of like chili pepper. And there's a smoke in here that I'm gonna say is not a smoke, but is a kind of a chipotle smoke. So you have those 3 kind of peppers coming in toward the end. It finishes pretty nicely. I'm a big fan of the finish on this. It finishes pretty long with a mouthful of spice. So other than the couple of label discrepancies I pointed out, these are both excellent excellent whiskeys. I highly recommend them. If you are someone who is wanting to have like a low proof bourbon around the house, I would be buying this over Basil Hayden and some other 80 proof bourbons. This is something that you can sit someone down who's new to bourbon and have an educational conversation with them, you know, especially if they like it. And this, you know, the age on it is still, you know, a mystery to me. But when you say it's more than 24 months, I really feel like we should be doing something more than saying, you know, it's more than 24 months, you know. So, but with all of that said, I would be putting this neck and neck with anything from Booker's and a lot of the cask strength products that are out there. It is absolutely delicious. So yes, both of these are highly recommended, especially for those who are in their bourbon journey and they want to start with something that's a little lower proof, and those who are in the thick of their bourbon journey and they find themselves wanting to taste things that are comparable to some of the cask strength products that are out there. This Penelope 116.6 proof is an incredible addition to any collection. So that'll do it for this quick tasting. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you click that subscribe button and come back for more. Hit the like button while you're at it. It helps me with the algorithms of the great YouTube world. There's more to come. So be safe and kind to one another out there. And remember, vodka sucks. Cheers.